A while ago, 1 billion row challenge has appeared on the web and it really took off, being discussed on Hacker News, Reddit and other platforms. The goal of this challenge is simple. You would need to write a Java application to retrieve temperature measurement values from a text file that has a billion rows. Our goal with this video is to showcase how 1 billion rows could be imported into MySQL or MariaDB. To load a billion rows into MySQL, you would need to start from the configuration, my.cnf or my.ini if you use Windows. The point here is to make your database use as much operating memory as possible. To do that in MariaDB or MySQL, we need to adjust the setting in the configuration file. Open up the configuration file and find a parameter called InnoDB buffer pool size. This parameter controls the amount of memory that the primary storage engine in MySQL InnoDB can use when importing and modifying data. Adjusting it is important because the initial values were low at 1/4 of a gigabyte. Raise the value to occupy more than half of the available memory, then restart your server or database. Once that's done, take a look into the file itself. Chances are you won't be able to open it through Notepad++, but for that you can use software to open bigger datasets like MEditor. Look into how the data is structured and try to find a marking that separates one column from the other. From the outset, we can see that the separator is a semicolon, and that will become vital in a second. The reason that's vital is because we will use a query meant to load bigger datasets into MySQL, and for that we will need to define a separating value. To actually load the data into MySQL, we need to have a table and or file in a directory specified in a parameter called secure file priv. Drag the file into the directory specified in this parameter, then look into a query called load data in file. That's the query meant to load big datasets into your database because it imports raw data and avoids overhead caused by dealing with insert SQL queries. Now set up a table that will hold these values. We have two columns, one text and one floating point value. To keep that in mind when creating a table. For the setup of the table to be proper, you would define a varchar or text data type for cities and a float data type for the float values. You can also specify a varchar or text data types for both. Once that's done, all you need to do now is to specify the file inside of the load data in file query, specify separator and let it run. Depending on how much memory you have allocated to the storage engine, you would need to wait a while for everything to be imported, but after that you should see all of the values inside of your table. Mission complete.